Um, Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to discuss about how to work with databases uh, in Java. Okay. Mm, JDBC. What is JDBC? Why do you need it? And how to work with it? Firstly, I would like to say there are a lot of technologies which allows us to connect from an application to a database using specific API. So these technologies are API, uh, which allows us to connect to a database. Okay. We will use JDBC. About other technologies, ODBC, Open Database Connectivity, is it's the standard which uh, developed by Microsoft and other companies um, to access on operating system level to a database. So the idea is to provide a driver um, uh, for any applications to allow it connect to a database. Okay. Earlier, mostly used in Microsoft products like Excel, Microsoft Office products to insert any objects to a document or a cell or in Excel or something like that. AutoNet developed for C# applications based on the .NET technology, and JDBC, the not native, the framework to use in Java. It's a library. No, it's not a library. It's standard which implemented in Java core. So it now, after implemented, it becomes to be a library, independent library, which can be used. So, if we discuss about Java SE, Java EE, SQL belongs to Java Enterprise Edition. Okay, uh, how does it work? How does it work? The general idea, how to use JDBC, and what do you need to do that. Okay, we need firstly to have driver manager. Is the key component which allows us to get specific implementation for the specific database. Okay, it's enough to put library for the specific database into the class path of your application. More than enough. And after that, you can use it because driver manager allows us to find all drivers existing in class path of your application and use it. Okay. If you put, for example, driver from MySQL for MySQL database, so you can use MySQL. If you put Microsoft SQL Server library, okay, you will use it. For Oracle, you will use Oracle. You can put several drivers into class path of your application and use several libraries, several connections to different databases. Okay? Okay. There is specific JDBC ODBC driver. Yet again, ODBC is the driver which exist in Microsoft operating system. Linux system also can have that, but you must install it independently. For specific database ODBC driver, you also need to install it independently. For example, you need download from database developer this driver, JDBC driver, ODBC driver, install it. Okay. JDBC ODBC driver, it's connection for any existing driver in your application, in your operating system. Okay, ODBC driver. So it allows your Java application be connected to any known by your operating system database. Okay. Then the driver is loaded. You can use it. On the driver manager, you can get connection. What is connection? Connection is physical connection. I mean program connection to your specific database. Today I'll show you all examples for the Microsoft OEM MySQL database. Okay. To get connection, we will discuss a bit later how to get connection. Okay, the connection is the object. Implementation of the connection interface. So connection is interface, and there is an implementation in the driver. Okay, driver manager use specific class to fulfill this interface. Okay. Then on this object connection, you can use several kind of statements. Statement to, for example, usually get read queries something like select query so you use can, but this query don't need any specific parameters like filtering. You need to know a text to be found in a field of the table, yeah, something like that. If you need such specific behavior to find some text or condition, yeah, you need to use prepared statement. Callable statement, the statement allows you to execute a function from database or a procedure. Statements, any of them, returns a result set. What does it mean to result set? A result set is the representation of the data returned from the database. For example, you use select query and it returns some view, yeah, like a piece of table. Okay, this object represents the data, and you can iterate over it to fulfill objects from the result set. On the result set, you can additionally get meta information, like what's the type of the field, what's the name, what's the length, and so on. Specific metadata related to this result set. It's general, okay? How to do it. So we get connection. On connection, we get a statement. Then we execute statement. Okay, and it returns us to us result set. Okay, we iterate over it, fulfill data in our object collection or one object, it depends, and then you can return it. go on. How to, so it's the way how to work with. So we discussed about all steps except close connection. Connection is a resource. If it's a resource, it must be closed, like a file. Or we used input streams or output streams to read write data from files. Okay. Or from network. Okay. The resource must be closed because it implements after closable, so it has method close, and because it resolves, it must be closed. Because it resolves, it implements after closable. Okay? So, general idea. When you work with database, it's mandatory. Understand? All of that must be internally in a method. Okay? Internally. You must not use one connection and share it between different methods. Every method which queries to database must open it, follow this. It could open many statements. It could execute many queries, get many result sets, process many result sets. But then work is finished, you must close connection. Okay? Okay. How to get connection? To get connection, you need to know what the driver class is used for your database. Okay, if it's Oracle, you use, for example, this driver. For MySQL, we will use this driver. It's driver deprecated. It's old. So, new driver to use. Except driver, you need to have URL. You must know how to connect. You must know the name of the database and its address. If you start your database on your local machine, it's not another machine. Yeah, you use a local host. Okay. This part of URL depends from the driver. For example, we have localhost sample. Sample is the name of the database. Localhost is the host where the database is hosted. And JDBC Oracle scene app, it's the specific for Oracle. The most databases use this way to build the URL. JDBC name of the database, for example, for Postgres. Okay, then then colon, then two hashes, host, and the name of the database. Okay. So you must know the username and password for your database. Maybe for your local environment, you can use no password database. It's okay. But usually database developers don't allow us to use database without any credentials. Okay? Okay. So you must know your password and name. I wrote here root. Root is the most let it be powerful user, each allowed to do anything in database, everything. Okay, for your local development, then you will install, for example, MySQL. Don't use a strict password, strict behavior of some strict security. It's not necessary. You must use such behavior in production, but for your local development, it's not necessary. We will discuss how to secure your database and so on. It's not the point for our course. Here we need to connect to existing database, query data, and so on. Okay. How application connects to the database? We provide specific username, specific user password, and any user, for example, you will develop web application. So this application will be used by many users. Yeah, maybe the application will have maybe your application have registration, login, or so on. It keeps information about any users, but it does not matter. Your application uses only this password, no more. Okay, only one password, username and password. Okay. Moreover, then uh, then you, for example, you want to host your application on a provider, internet provider, hosting provider, which allows you to create site, use the database, and so on. Provider gives you connection string, name of database, type of database like Oracle, MySQL, or Postgres, and so on. Username and password. No more. And you will not be able to create new users and so on. So, how to get connection? Uh, we there are two ways to do that. Firstly, use driver manager. Okay. Uh, Second way, use database or data source. Sorry, data source. Preferred ways, use data source. But if your application, don't have technology like dependency inversion, it's usually you will not be able. Usually, you can. I show how get data source, but usually you will not be able use anything except driver manager. Okay, then you will develop your web application. You will use data source more, or will use data source. Okay. There are a lot of not a lot, several implementations of data source. Java SQL connection pool data source. What is it? And why it's necessary? If you have, for example, web application, it processes many queries. These queries, it's requests to process requests. You need to access the database, so you need to get connection for your database. Get data and so on. Then you use only one connection. It means every time you create new connection, as I stated previously, in the method, you must open it, process all data, close it. After the method is finished, it can be the connection can be used another connection. So it creates every of this method create new connection. Every. So while it processes by one, other creates new connection. To access database, you can have several connections, but it's limited. And creating the connection is expensive operation. So to avoid this behavior of creation, we can use data source or data pool of connections. Actually, you bring or take it from the pool and then use it. Then you close connection. It actually will not be closed. It will be returned to the pool. Okay? So pool knows you can reuse by another for another query. This behavior significantly increases the performance. So using connection pool is very good idea. How to do that? I'll show. XA data source for distributed transactions. If you have, for example, several databases and between them you use you need to make several queries. You can use XR data source, which can be used for handling transaction over several databases. Okay. Okay. To get connection, we develop URL. Okay. This URL can have additional properties. All properties must be added after question mark. The way to add them is name value. Between two parameters, we use amp. Name value. Amp name value. Amp name value. Okay? Okay. These parameters specific for the MySQL. But as I can see, it's not necessary to use this parameters, it's enough to use user and password. You cannot use them because there is a method, specific method to get which provides these parameters. Okay, how does it work? I explained driver, domain or IP, localhost, and now port. Yeah, port. Then you install your database. For example, you want to install MySQL. The default is the server. Have you learned networks or not yet? Ladies, gentlemen, do you hear me? Ladies and gentlemen,
Yes, we do.
do you studied, do you learned networks, how networks works? Did you have course networks?
No.
No, okay. Thank you. Okay. Then you start application, which is a server, and this application, of course, needs to communicate over network and waits or listening requests from network. It must have specific port, and clients must know this specific port. The default port, so it's like it's actually number of application which allow it to connect to the network. This port application can take from operating system. Okay, so if it's server, it can ask specific port because clients knows must know how to connect the database. Okay, so MySQL by default takes port 3306. For example, if I remember properly, Postgres takes 2, 3, 4, 5. But I can be wrong. Okay, so then you install your SQL Server, MySQL, Postgres, and so on. You can change this port. In this case, you must specify it in the URL. Okay. Go ahead and so let's go ahead. I prepared before this example and how does it work. Here I defined the URL. Standard URL if you install with MySQL. Oh yeah, how to on the database courses. What database do you learn? Do you use?
MySQL.
MySQL. So I suppose you have installed it.
Yes.
Okay. So I will not discuss how to install the database. Thank you. Okay, so I provided the URL, then root and password. Never show in the code, write this way, your open login, passwords, and so on. Never. It's just for example. Okay. Okay. Then, because connection is resource, I use driver manager and on it execute method head connection and pass URL, then username and then password. Okay. So if the connection is obtained, this will be printed. Okay. Okay. So if we have some error, this error message will be printed. Okay. Okay. Run. So the database is connected. The class implementation class of the connection interface is connection in. MySQL, CJ, JDBC, connection info. Okay, and this hash code and so on. How to? Yeah. How the driver was provided in this application. I added the dependency in the POM XML. Com MySQL connector J and specified a version. Okay, okay. Let me check what is the latest driver. Maven. Maven repository was moved. Oh, copy. It's just enough to use this version. Newer version. It's old. Okay. Must work. Let's rerun. Okay. Here, internally, in this package, you can use get statements, queries, and execute queries, get results, and so on. We'll discuss a bit of it about that a bit later. Okay, how to use pool? Okay, pool connection. There are several implementations of the connection pool in Java Vault. I used Apache commands, DBCP pool, database connection pool, okay, and version 290. Okay. Now we can use basic data source. It returns basic data source. What the data source is? Class from basic data source. For Apache command DBCP. So I set it all, username, password, and optional configurations, and then use connection on data source get connect. Two examples in one: how to use data source and how to get on it connection. The same, just a moment, the same driver manager get connection, data source get connection, but it was previously configured. Okay, so the same. And here, yes, we have the information about it. It's connected. Any questions now? No questions. Very good. 5-minute break, and then we continue. Before we continue, I about JDBC work with Java. You must understand how the application is developed. How application is developed. Firstly, then you develop application. You need to have a schema, database schema. So previously it must be created by a specific additional tool. You can use, for example, script, use console, or, for example, MySQL Workbench, UI tools to prepare the database. Okay, then it's prepared. You only then can connect your application to the database. So my database already prepared. It has name shop. It persists some data in the database. For example, shop. Okay, before we begin, I'll start it. Yeah, here. Take a look. Take a look here. This script developed in the way where you can group your database. You cannot group your database. You can, if you can do that, you can write here group database database if exists and name shop. Let me configure my edit preferences modeling secure execution, not appearance fonts, models appearance, not defaults. Stop query. Query editor. Change keywords to uppercase. Use uppercase keyword. Okay. Exists. It shows. In this case, you can drop it and then recreate. Okay. Here, if not exists, is not necessary because it's already dropped. Okay. Then you use keyword to and name of the database to connect it. So in this, if you edit here, group the deletion of the tables, it's not necessary. Okay, I use another approach. I use recreating all database. Okay, it groups all tables and fulfill with a bit amount of data. Okay, I use triggers here, so and then I can fulfill it with data. Oh no! Yet again, before adding triggers, you need to stop, recreate, fulfill with data, create procedure, being declared. What happened? Already exists. No. Yes, it's okay. Shop triggers. Cannot add or update child row foreign. Something went wrong with my database. Okay, I'll do that with this group, fully group. Okay, then shop data. It's okay. Then triggers. Okay, it works. Okay, it fulfilled with data. A lot of, yeah. Here you can refresh the view. Shop, it has tables. Tables has data. It has a lot of accounts. Yeah, it has a lot of products. And so on. We can query data and fulfill, and so on. Okay, go ahead. To connect then about your application architecture. Your application architecture must have three tier. First tier is controller. Controller takes requests and create a model and then return model representation. Model is the data obtained, processed by application on the request, to answer the request. This data represented in a way, for example, it can be just text string, it can be JSON, it can be XML, and so on. It can be HTML, doesn't matter. And return it to the client. Okay. To create model, controller need to execute, get it from database, but writing database logic in control is the worst idea. Never do that. The best way to architect your application has three tier. Next tier is the service. Last tier is the data access layer, and only then your database. Okay, so controller to prepare the model asks service to do its job. Service do some job and asks data layer data access layer. Data access layer do nothing except getting data and representing it as objects. Okay? Then data layer access to the database, queries it, gets a result set. From result set, it creates objects and return them to the service layer. If service layer needs more data to process a request, it can execute another getting data from the data layer. The same idea and data returned, represented as objects, Java objects. The data collected and returned as the model. Data returned by service named model. Okay. Okay, here the model can be represented just as string, as JSON, and so on, and then return to the asker. To simplify, so data not simplifying, not now about simplification. Data access layer developed in a way which needs business logic. So in this case, you must specify an interface which states the necessary methods. Okay? Okay. In our example, I will not use any controllers, any services, and so on. I will use main methods to ask database. But we always use service layer to do that. Or not service interfaces to specify behavior which is needed for the database. Okay? Let's go ahead. And here we need some representations of data structures which stored in the database. In this case, we need to have objects, for example, account represents user, its ID, login, password, and so on. Okay, so yeah, here it is. Not use primitive types for IDs. Use wrappers. Why? Wrappers allows you to be compliant with database because not null or null allowed can be represented as null in this case. Primitive types cannot be represented as null. It will take in this case 0. 0 is can mean specific meaning, for example, for creation or so on. It would be better to have null. Okay. Then product also, yeah, I'll make here category ID. It's also ID. One class represent only one table here. Okay, not all classes. Here I have the specific way to represent your classes in the application or database in the application. L long approved by long t date approved by okay, receipt. Yeah, we have only one. Yeah, no, we have only one class for table. Yeah, it does not contain aggregation. What does mean aggregation? Receipt does not have receipt items. If let's show me the model. Here is the model. What does it mean, model? Model is the representation of the schema, database schema. Here, account is representation of the user. A user can have a role, for example, operator, customer, or administrator, and so on. Okay. Receipt. A customer can have many, can create many orders. Order receipt is the order meaning, because order is reserved word. So I renamed it to receipt. Okay. So receipt. So a customer can create many receipts. Receipt must have order status. Okay. Where to deliver this order, and what the products in the receipt, in the order or a product, and product and receipt connected by many-to-many relation. So here the transformation table, receipt ID and product ID. Okay, and count and price. Why I duplicated the price? Because if product price was changed and the receipt will not have the receipt does not have the price, new price happens in the receipt, so it's not correct. Price must be fixed. Okay. Here is categories, total amount of product available, create, update, and so on. It's general observation of the set ID, Control R, long. Wall word, replace all. Okay, receipt. Yeah. What happened? Status ID. Long status ID. Oh, it's okay. The status ID, it's long. Int. Okay, row. Control L, replace all. Okay, account. Control R, replace all. Row. Control, replace. Here is not receipt. Int count. It's okay. Okay. We have. Now we need to develop data access layer. I create new interface, Java class interface. It will be in Java package, and its name will be, for example, what we will have, what we will handle, for example, product. Okay. product down. Okay, okay. Product down. Product down needs to be used by a service layer. Okay, okay. And it, okay. I'll what I will do. I'll just state the method to get any data. Okay. For example, we need to have products. Find all. Returns a list product okay, find all. Enter import class class. Audio find all. Find by ID or get get by ID, and here long ID. No, only one product. We can use, for example, a list product. Find by name, and here we can know what we'll ask. No, yes, string pattern. Is it enough? Could be, for example, product. Save, for example, or it can be create. Here we can have product. We use only these objects. Why does it returns product? Because when you put data to the database, it insert database creates new ID. So we take the created ID and put it into the object and then return it. Okay. Now it's no. Oh, maybe delete. Yeah. Void. Delete product or ID. It's enough. Long ID. So now we must implement this interface. Create test, implement interface, and I'll put it input. Product down input. Create class. What happened? Oh, destination package input. Okay, create new package, find all, and so on. What should we do? First of all, as I stated before, we need to create connection. Okay, let's do it. Okay. What can I do? How can I do? Connection. Connection. Equal. Driver manager. Driver manager get connection. And I must provide the URL. Every time. Okay, I'll do that using my test connection class. Okay, I'll copy paste it. Does it okay or not? Copy paste. It's worth idea to copy paste all this stuff. Yeah, we will have several implementations, and every time we need to copy paste it. So maybe better, much better to create a class which always will be used to get connection. Okay, let's do it. We put it into the Java and create new class. Connection manager. Connection. And I put it into util. Connection manager will have this data. Later we externalize the data, but not now. Copy. And it has the method had connection. Okay. It returns connection. Get connection. No, it's enough. The method will be public. We just return driver manager had connection. Pass here URL. Then username and password. Okay. It unhandled exception Java add exception to the method signature. Okay, SQL exception. So we must maybe provide clause, or we will not use it right now. Provide additional methods. Yeah, maybe it will be better to create new interface for that. But we will do it later. Okay, so our implementation must have connection manager. Connection manager, CM, okay. And I need to initialize it. It would be better to do that in constructor. Final. Alt enter, initialize in constructor at constructor parameter. Okay, we have. Now we have connection manager and we can use it. So connection manager, CM, get connection. Very good. But this connection is resource. We must close it. So now I'll use try with resource to do that. Okay. And I add catch state. SQL exception. secure exception. Yeah. And if something went wrong, I'll rethrow it as runtime exception, my own exception. Throw new data access exception. Put here the message cannot find any product and pass here the original exception. Why? Why I need that? Why do I need that? Why? Let me create exception and then I explain. Create class data input no DAO exception. Okay. Constructor, all constructor, and it extends runtime exceptions. Why do I need a runtime exception? Why do I need any other stuff or throw it and so on? As it was stated previously, we have three-tier architecture: controller, service, data access layer. Controller get the request and duty on creation of model. If something went wrong, it must know the cause of the error and how this error can be represented for the client. Okay, only controller knows different kind of errors which can be created here. So obtained here, it would be better to say obtained here, because control can execute many other methods, and different methods can bring different exception, throwing different exceptions. So only controller knows how to what the error and how it can be represented. Service layer don't know. Database don't know about that. Yet again, only controller know how to represent this error. So in control, we must catch this exception, represent it as necessary, is it necessary, and return it to the client. Okay, so database must not hide any exception. Service must not hide any exception. And they must be rethrown to be gotten in the controller layer. Okay? So here is the way to do that without writing a lot of throws exception. Okay? Okay. If we have connection, we can on the connection get a statement. Create statement. No, not type parameter statement. Import plus. Okay. Then we need to, if we have the statement, then we can query it. St execute. 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 A lot of execute are there. Execute which should boolean, 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 boolean. Okay, here is, but here is find all. We need to get all products. Okay, so we need to have a result set, and this method allows us to do that. We can execute query, get the result set, and then process it. Okay, so I use execute query to here, there. And I must represent here CQM. Okay, I'll do that a bit later. And here I must add a result set. Result set rs equals. A lot of resources created here. Why? Because everyone is a resource. Is resource. Connection is resource. Statement is resource. Result set is resource. So all of them must be closed. So to don't write finally method, finally statement, all of them create in the try section. Okay. And I need to have the query which allows me to get this data. Okay. I go to the select asterisk from top products, but it's okay. It's okay. I can use it without semicolon. I'll do that here. And then I need to process this result set. How to do that? I have result set. So how does it work? What is result set? Result set is the like a table, which returned from the database. It has cursor. Cursor for the new result set points before any data. Before any data. To point it to the data, we must execute next method. Has next method. I don't remember, just recall it memory. Okay. Then, after the first call, it will be pointed and on the row, and we can take the data from this row. Next executed, we will be pointed to the next row, and then we can process next, and so on until next return false. Okay, rs. So now we will have a loop. It's a while loop. rs rs next. Yeah. What does it have? First, we can put in at the first record. Get boolean takes boolean value after last points to the left before the first. Is before is after last. So it's not. It doesn't point to the data. Is closed. Is first. Is last. Last. Next, and so on. Okay. Rest next. Next return boolean. Instead of in comparison with iterator, which returns data, here it returns boolean like has next in iterator. Okay, next, and now we can process the data. Okay, if result set is empty, we will not process any data. So before to process, we need to create a result set, for example. Yeah, result set, or not result set, a list with products. Yeah, uh, products. Okay, new array list, for example. Okay, it will be just fulfilled. Okay, array list, and every time we need to create new product, introduce new local variable product, and now we can process the current result set. So what the columns it has? ID, name, description, amount, price, category ID, create date, last update. Okay, let's take a look on our product class. It has all necessary data. Okay. Okay. No. Where is my product DAO input? Okay. So I need a product set, a product set ID, and on the result set, I must execute get and specify the type. Here is long. I must get long. And here we have two methods, by column label and index, because we use asterisk instead of representing all fields, names of fields. We will use column labels. It's just string name, yeah. It label long, and here we can get the ID. Okay. Then product. Let me go here and then product set name rs get string name the column. You need to have specific mapping between fields, class field names and database field names. In database, we use underscore instead of camel case. You must follow the same behavior, the same rules everywhere on your database. all names is lowercase. To separate different words in the name, use underscore. Okay? Follow this rule. Always. It will be much easier in your future life if you follow this rule. Okay, name. Next is description. So here our description. Here I must description. Okay, next amount. I will not do it for wall. I'll just. Oh, here is a problem. Big decimal. Let's do it a bit. Product set what amount res get int amount then price I need the price product set price. Oh, double return big decimal. Here we have big decimal must have. Okay, rs get big decimal and here price. Okay, price. Okay, after we fulfill it, we need to add into the products. Yeah, so products, add product, and then we finish. We need to return our products. Yeah, the unreachable code. We can test. We can test our implementation. Does it work or not? Okay, I'll create new file. Here, Java, test connection. Okay, no, DB, what's wrong with entity, product, set price. Here it is, must be also big decimal. Big decimal, okay. And insert Java class, test down. We will have, we don't have more time, main, but we do that product service, product DAO, new DAO, new product DAO info and new connection manager. Okay, I'll get it. So product DAO, find all. It returns local variable products. So products for each and Oh, not here. No, I'll do that this way. So we got a lot of data. What was not read from it wasn't read from the database is no. Any questions?
No questions.
Okay, next lecture we'll discuss how to make more complex queries, statements. Maybe if we have time, we will discuss about more about architecture more. So